Welcome to Vibe Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is your first time of stopping by my channel, please consider to subscribe and also put on your notification bell so that I get notified once I post a new video. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So today we're going to be learning how to make a palazzo. This is going to be a wide leg pant. That's an A-line palazzo. Okay, I'll be using this beautiful fabric to achieve this palazzo. So without wasting time, here are the measurements we need to achieve the palazzo. First, you need your trouser length, you need your waist measurement, your hip measurement. You also need your round thigh measurement. And in this case, you don't need the round knee, you don't need the round ankle. Remember, I said we're making a wide leg palazzo. So, and then also, like I said, that you need your round thigh measurement, but we know that it is not always convenient to take somebody's round thigh measurement. So here I have a formula for you to get your round thigh measurement, and it works perfectly. It works perfectly. Try it for yourself. By the time I show us the formula, if it works for you, please let me know. But I can assure you that this works perfectly. You don't need to tell somebody to raise up her skirt. For instance, you want to measure somebody that is wearing a skirt. You don't need to tell her to raise up her skirt for you to measure her round thigh. So with this formula, you can get the round thigh of anybody so long as you have the hip measurement. So here in this case, to get the front round thigh, you're going to divide the hip by 4. So, and the hip of my client is 44. When you divide hip by 4, that will give you 11 inches. Then, plus hip divided by 20. So, this same hip measurement of 44, you divide it by 20, I will have 2.2. So 2.2 plus 11 that I have here, that will give me 13.2 inches. So can you see I wrote front round thigh measurement is 13.2 inches. I said hip divided by 4 plus hip divided by 20. So to get the back round thigh, it is hip divided by 4 plus hip divided by 10. And here the back round thigh is 15.4. So you also need the crotch measurement. You can take the crotch measurement for your client, but of course, if you cannot take if the person is not present for you to take the crotch measurement, we also have a formula. Very simple. You divide the hip by 4. That will give you your crotch measurement. Then plus 1 inch. That 1 inch is for ease. It is very important that the person can bend, the person can sit comfortably when the person is wearing an outfit you made. So here I said the crotch measurement is hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch. That 1 inch is for ease. It's not your sewing allowance. So now we'll go ahead and fold our fabric. So this is for palazzo. Then of course, if you are making a straight trouser and you will need to measure the round knee measurement and the round ankle measurement, that's very easy to tell the person to take it, or you take it whether the person is wearing a skirt or a gown or not. So to determine the amount of fabric I will fold for my palazzo, you determine how wide you want the hem of your palazzo to be. And in this case, I want the hem of this palazzo to be as wide as 24 inches. So I'll go ahead and fold 24 inches and show us what to do. I folded my fabric and I have my 24 inches. So this is for the front. Remember I said the front round thigh is 13.2 inches. So here I have 24 inches. 24 minus 13.4 inches. I'll be left with about 11.5. I think so. That's about 11.5, right? So that 11.5, I'm going to divide that 11.5 by 2. That will give me 5 and 3/4. So at this folded part, at this folded part, I'll go ahead and mark 5 and 3/4. Can you see that? I'll mark 5 and 3/4. I'll mark it all the way down. So I have marked my 5 3/4 on this side. So the other 5 3/4 is on this side, including my 13.2 inches. Okay, so having done that now, so all my markings will start from here. So the first thing to do now is to draw the starting line, which will serve as the waistline. So here's our waistline. From this waistline, I'll come down by the crotch depth, and the crotch depth of this person is 12 inches. Remember, it's the hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch for ease. So here we have our crotch depth. So 2 inches above the crotch is the hip line. So here is the hip line. 2 inches or 2.5 inches above the crotch line is where your hip line is. So now we have done this. So on this crotch line, I'll go ahead and enter the round thigh measurement, which is 13.2. And 13.2, of course, that's 13 1/4. Okay, so that's my 13 1/4 here. So having done this, then on the hip line here, I will enter quarter of the hip measurement. That's the hip divided by 4. I'll enter it here, which is 11 inches. So having done this, I'm going to take my line. I'm just going to slant it now. Now I have 11 inches on the hip line. Half inch less of what I have on the hip line is 10.5. This is to have a slanted line here. You don't want the trouser to bulge in front. So I'll go ahead and connect this line like this. You can see that it's a slanted line, just half inch inwards. Can you see that? So on this point here, this is the center front now. So on this center front point here now, I will enter quarter of the waist measurement. Take note now, I'm taking my measurement from here to enter the waist measurement to give it that shape of the waist. So here the waist is 35 inches. 35 divided by 4, that will give us 3/4. So here is our 8 3/4. Can we see that? So this is where the waist measurement is. So now I'm going to connect to have my crotch curve. So I'll just place my curve this way. You can see this point here. You want it to meet here at this point. So can you see? I now have my crotch. So having gotten my crotch curve, now the next thing I want to do, I want to bring this line. Now this is the biggest measurement I have here, which is the round thigh measurement here. I want to bring it down here, half of it. Now look at it. This is the round thigh measurement I have here. This is 13 1/4. So let me just place my tape like this into 2 to get half of it. So at this point, this is half of it. This is 6.5 with 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's like 6.6. So I'm going to mark this 6.6 here, and I'll bring the same 6.6 here. So now this is now the center line, which will serve as the grain line. This is for you to be able to centralize your trouser. So here we are. So now we have our green line here. So basically, that's that for this down part. So now I want to open up my trouser to be able to achieve the A shape. That's the wide leg palazzo that we are looking for. And I want this trouser to open up right from the hip. That's right from the hip line. It's only the waist that will be a little fitted. So can you see what I'm doing? I'm placing my tape from here. Can you see? So this is what our waist looks like. Can you see what the waist looks like? We'll still come back here to take out the waist sloper, but for now, this is what it looks like at this point. So now we want to achieve that wide leg palazzo. Remember that this measurement is supposed to go down, but remember we have 5 3/4 on this side. So we want to achieve that A shape. So I said I want to have that A shape from the waist, from the hip line. That was what I said. So now on this waistline, I'll come here and add my sewing allowance of half inch. I need half inch on this side that I'll be using to join on this side, and then I also need half inch on this side. Can you see that? So half inch on this side. So now I need half inch all here, because remember I've not talked about any sewing allowance. So this is me just adding my sewing allowance. This is almost the same thing you do. This is just basically the same thing you do even if you are drafting on a pattern paper. So I've added my sewing allowance of half inch round. So here I have my sewing allowance. So I said I want to open it right from the hip line here. So I'm just going to place my ruler like this. I'm going to add my half inch on the hip line now. So from this hip line here, I'm going to open my ruler. I'm going to open it up. Can you see? I'm trying to achieve that wide leg pant now. So I'll come here now and place my ruler this way. So I opened it up all the way to this end. Can you see what we have? So you can see that it opens all the way to this end. So on this side now, remember I've added half inch here. So from this crotch here, I'm going to open also to achieve the A shape this way. So can you see? So you see why I said we don't need the round knee measurement or the round ankle. You can see how the trouser just opens down. It's giving it that flared shape. Okay, so here we are. So basically you can see that here this side is going to be freer than normal. It's going to be freer than normal. The palazzo opens from the hip all the way down to the end, but around this side is going to have that nice fit around there. But if you want your palazzo to start from the waistline and begin to open from there, you open your A shape. But I want it to have that nice fit around the hip, so that is why I opened from the hip line down to the hem. So now here, I'll come to this waistline. I'm going to come down by half of an inch. This is for the waist sloper. Terminate balls because our front is shorter than our back. Okay, so the front part of our butt is shorter than the back. That's what I meant to say. So now having achieved this, now we have that length. So now I'm going to confirm my length. Remember I said I'm looking for 45 inches in length. Okay, so here I'm placing my tape from here, and then here is my 45 inches. I'm placing my tape this way. So here I have my 45 inches. Then I need a hemming allowance of 2 inches. I want this trouser to drop and touch the ground. So I'm going to be marking 2 inches, which is 47. So from this point here, I'll still mark my 47. Can you see what I'm doing? So just the same way, like the way we mark flare. This is 47. I'll come here too and still mark the same 47. So you can see that the base of my trouser is not straight anymore. I'm going to use this curve to connect it like this. It has this curve, that's this balanced shape on the floor. This is what it will look like on the floor. So you can see the fullness that I have here. So we are done with our front. So I'll go ahead and cut it out, but I won't be cutting out the waist sloper yet until I have placed the back, and then we'll cut out our waist sloper. This looks like. So now I'm going to be marking the pocket, the area where I'm going to fix my pocket. This is our side front here. So I will come down from this side front here, that's from this part. I'll be coming down by 7 inches. Can you see? 7 inches. And then I will come in by 3 inches. So I want to have this stylish curved pocket, but not so curved. So I'm just going to use my curved ruler like this, and then I'll cut out this part. Okay, so I'll cut out this part, but I'm just going to stop here so that I'll place my back and cut out my back first before I can remove this one. So I've placed my fabric for the back. Okay, so now what I'll be doing, notice that, take note that this upper part, I have space here. The back, we have our bum bum at the back, so, and the back is longer. So here I'm going to be increasing this center back line by 1.5 inches. So here is exactly my 1.5 inches at this point here. Can you see that? So once I increase this center back line by 1.5 inches, from here, this point that I am now, this is where the waist, the front waistline started from. I will go in by 1 inch from this point. I'm going in by 1 inch because our waist is smaller at the back. It goes inwards after the bum bum. So you want the trouser, you don't want that trouser to gape at the back. That is why I'm going in by 1 inch here. Okay, so now that I've gone in by 1 inch on this point, here on the hip line here, I will come out by 1 inch. By 1 inch. I came out by 1 inch on this side. On this other side, I'm coming out by the same 1 inch. So at the end of the day, what have I added to the hip line? I've added 2 inches to the hip line. So now, remember that our round thigh measurement for the back, we have established the fact that it's 15.5 inches. So the back, the bum bum is bigger at the back, so it needs to accommodate it. So from here now, I'll place my tape. Can you see I'm placing it from this line, not from this A-line shape, from this actual line. I'm placing it from here now, and I'm going to mark my 15.4 inches. So here is my 15.4 inches. So that's about 15.5, right? I'll just use 15.5. So at this point now, you can see that extension that we have. Okay, so after extending it that way, I'll come down by half of an inch. This is the actual crotch line. I'll come down by half of an inch to curve the crotch, because the bum bum is lower at the back. It's not as high as the front part is. So I'm going to curve it down. So I'm connecting this point to this 1 inch here, and then I'm connecting it to this 1 inch I came inwards. I hope we understand. So I'm just going to place my curve like this. So, and then I'll go ahead and connect it to this point. Let me place it this way. So can you see? So this is what my back crotch looks like. Okay, so from this point here, you remember we went up by 1.5. Of course, we're going to blend back this line into this because we're going to be joining them together, so they have to blend up at the sides there. But first, we're going to measure the waist measurement. So by placing my tape slanted like this, remember we're looking for 8 3/4. So here's our 8 3/4. Then we'll go ahead and add our sewing allowance. We need half inch on both sides. So I'll just go ahead and add the 1 inch at this side. You see? So 1 inch here. I remember I added 1 inch to the hip line there. So then I'll go ahead and slant this line this way. Can you see? So it will just blend up to this side. So at the end of the day, this line will be, this part will equal to this length that we have here. So you can see that the only place that will have an extension is on the center back line. So now I've added our 1 inch on both sides. So all I need to do now is to bring in my ruler and connect it to have A-shaped palazzo. I'll bring my ruler, connect this point to this point, and then bring it to connect to this end here. And then I'll also connect this side like this. Well, yes, okay. So you can see that the back of our palazzo is wider than the front. So this is because we have our butt at the back. So now I can now go ahead and cut out the front. That's the waist sloper in front here. This is to give your trouser that nice balance at the waistline there. So I'll go ahead now and I'll cut this line. Okay, so now we have our back piece and our front piece. Can you see that at the side, the center back here, they will match up? You see that? Can you see that they are equal here? And then of course at the side too, they will be equal, even though I'll be cutting out my pocket. So I'm going to show us how we're going to cut our pocket that will replace this side. So now you can see what I have here. Now back piece. So now it's time for us to cut our pocket. Remember I created this shape for the pocket. So you can see I've gone ahead to cut my fabric for the pocket. I'll be combining these two fabrics because my material is not enough to give me this and to give me the complete pocket. But this is the fabric I'll be using for the top. That's the crop top I'll be making for this palazzo. So and this part will be hidden, so don't worry about it. So if you have enough fabric, please use your material to cut it, but for me it will still be hidden. So I have a length of 14 inches, and then I have a width of about 16 inches. I need to have 14, but I decided to use this 16. Pocket is 14 by 14, in length 14, in width 14 inches. So when it is folded, you say 7 by 14. So this part with the black is the part that is going to be at the front. So now I'll place the pocket over like this. You see, I made sure that wrong side facing wrong side or right side facing right side so that you get the opposite direction. So can you see I've placed the trouser over it like this? You can see up to this point, this is where this is the end of my pocket. This is 14 inches. You can see I've placed it over like this is where it ends. So I'll go ahead and trace out this shape. Trace out this shape and then also follow this shape here, because it has to follow the shape of your trouser. This is so that the pocket sits perfectly inside the trouser. Can you see the shape I have here now? So this side will be on the front side of the trouser. So I'll bring in the back side of the trouser, and then I'll also place the pocket this way. Trace out this shape also here. So this just helps your pocket to balance well and maintain the shape of the trouser. Can you see what is happening here? So you see the shape. You don't want to just leave it straight, because if you leave it straight, you're going to have excess. You notice the pocket folding around that side. So now the first thing I'll do is to place this pocket now first. This is, can you see that this is the wrong side of my fabric, and this side is my pocket and this side is the crotch side. So I'll bring this pocket like this, right side facing right side. I'll just pick one of them, but you can see that this is supposed to be for this side. I'll pick it and then I'll take to my sewing machine and sew on a curved shape like this. I'm going to be sewing it in a curvy manner like this on 1/2 inch. I'll do that for this side, and then for the second pocket or for the second front piece, you can see this is the side, this is this side for the second front piece. Of course, you can see they have to be opposite each other. So I also place it right side facing right side like this, and then I'll go ahead and sew in a curvy manner like this. I'll do that for the pocket and come back and show us my pocket. Can you see? So I'm just going to go ahead and notch it. So you want to make sure that you notch it so that it is relaxed. So I haven't notched it this way. I'm going to press it, but this is what we are doing. You see? Go ahead and push it to the back like this. So of course I'll press it and then relax well. So can you see? I'll press it, then bring it out this way. Can you see the other side of the pocket? That was why I said that the black that we have inside on this side will not show. So this part that has been cut out, this green now is replacing the part that has been cut out. Of course, we cannot leave our skin bare. So I'm going to press it and then top stitch my seam allowance to the pocket. Now this seam allowance, now I'm going to top stitch it to the pocket in order to help it to lay flat. I'll repeat the same thing for the other in my pocket this way. Can you see? So you can see that the pocket is well relaxed. You see? So I'm going to come now to this side and then top stitch this pocket. But before I top stitch the pocket, this is what I'll be doing. I'll place the pocket like this. Can you see it is opened? I'll place it wrong side facing wrong side, and then I'll stitch it down. I'll sew it on 1/4 inch. So after sewing on 1/4 inch, of course this is what I'll have it to go in. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch that part. This is so that you don't see the seam allowance outside. I want the outside to look like this. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch it on this side. That's to close it up on this side so that I can have one pair. Okay, so I'll do that for the other side. So after sewing my pocket, can you see this is what we have at the back. So my seam allowance is neatly hidden inside, and you can't even see it from inside when you put your hand inside the pocket because I top stitched it. And you can also see that I've gone ahead to sew the sides of the pocket. That's I've sewn it to the side of the trouser. So right now it's now a single piece. So remember that I took out the waist sloper. Can you see that this part, my pocket is longer than the trouser? So all I need to do now is to trim out this excess here. And see, so that we have that relaxed look. So you see that the waistline of the pocket is slanted. Okay, so that's that for this side. And I'll go ahead and top stitch this side. I'll do the same thing for the second one too, and then I'll go ahead and place them together like this, right side facing right side, and then I'll go ahead to sew the crotch. I'll be sewing it on 1/2 inch. I will repeat the same thing for the back piece, then go ahead and join the sides together. So when I'm joining the side, on the left side is where I want to have my zipper for this trouser. So on the left side, I will come down by 9 inches from the waistline. That's from this side. I'll come down by 9 inches then and start sewing on 1/2 inch all the way down. But the other side that won't carry the zipper, I'm going to sew from the start to the end. Then I'll show us how to fix our band and fix the zipper. My trouser, I've joined the side back and the side front. I've done the same thing here. Remember I said I'll be leaving 9 inches, so you can see I left my space here at the back, at the side here. So you can see I joined the crotch, front crotch, and then the back crotch. So after joining it, then I went ahead to join the inseam. That's this place, this under the tie, that's under the bum bum. This is the inseam. And see, I joined it, and then I also went ahead to weave everything. So, so that's that. Then for the hem, I also went ahead to fold with my hemming allowance. So you can see I stitched it down, but before I did that, I used hemming gum to seal up the down part so that it's easy for me to sew, so that everything just lays well. Remember that it's A shape. You don't want it to come and give you some gathering. So you can see that the hem is looking very neat. So now the next thing I'll be doing is to fix my band. After pinning my band, I pinned it on the wrong side. I'll go ahead and sew it round. Take note that I pinned just one side. So once I sew it round to the other side of the waist, I'll go ahead and flip it over like this and then top stitch it. And you see, I'll be top stitching from outside. So you can see that this side is opened. So once I'm done doing that, I'll fix my zipper on this side and press it very neatly and then show us the outcome of this beautiful palazzo. Can you see that palazzo is palazzoing? So I'll do that and show us. So here we are. We're done with our palazzo, our wide leg pants. Can you see how it's sitting really pretty on the mannequin? Can see the legs are just so beautiful. The flare came out really well. The crotch is sitting perfectly. Everything is just coming out really nice. You can also see our pockets. Everything is just sitting flat and beautiful. So the owner of the trouser actually sent me a message telling me that the trouser came out, the palazzo trouser came out perfectly beautiful. So you can actually trust the method we use to achieve this palazzo. So if you'll be trying, if you're going to be making yours, let me know in the comment section. And I hope you have learned something. I know you must have learned something from this video. If you did, please kindly give me a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also put on your notification bell so that you get notified once I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.